Donald Trump's former chief of staff, Mark Meadows, suffered a blow this week that basically leaves him with no more options. See, Mark Meadows was told by the full 11th District Court of Appeals that we're not going to reconsider the 3-judge panel ruling that said you cannot move your case, the charges against you from Fa Willis, you can't move those from state court to federal court because the actions that you are accused of doing do not fall within your official duties as the chief of staff to the President of the United States. Therefore, according to this 11th Circuit Court ruling, you're staying in state court, buddy, and things are going to be a lot tougher for you there. Now, Meadows has 2 options at this point. Actually, technically, he has 3. The first option is he just says, fine, and he deals with it. That ain't going to happen. The 2 other options, and he'll do one of these 2 things. 1, he can appeal it to the Supreme Court, but I doubt that the Supreme Court is even going to take up this case. This kind of seems like one where they'd be like, yeah, we're not going to take the case, so the lower court, the 11th Circuit, their decision stands. His other option is don't appeal it, don't accept it, and you go running to Fa Willis right now and you beg her on your knees to give you a plea deal. That, to me, seems like the most likely option, especially because he could appeal it to the Supreme Court, they could decline it, and then he could still go running and begging for a plea deal. And we already know, by the way, that Mark Meadows has agreed to cooperate with Jack Smith. He has sat for multiple different interviews. He has spoken to that grand jury that Jack Smith impaneled. So Meadows is already being a good little cooperating witness that has turned over tons of great information for Jack Smith in his January 6th prosecution of Donald Trump. Georgia, on the other hand, they haven't offered him anything. In fact, Fa Willis at one point even said, you know what? We're kind of done with the whole plea deal thing. We've got the folks we need, and there will be no deal for Meadows, Giuliani, and Trump. Now, should probably plead out the rest of the folks, but Meadows specifically was identified as an individual that is probably not going to get a plea deal. And there's an interesting reason for that, by the way. Jack Smith and Fa Willis can actually share information. There is a process they have to go through in order to be able to do that, but because Meadows is cooperating there, Willis doesn't actually need him to cooperate in order to get all of that information. So she has no incentive at all to work out a deal with Meadows. She can get access to damn near all of it, possibly all of it. So, Mark, I guess what I'm trying to say is you're pretty screwed, buddy, because out of all those 3 options that you have, the one that you're most likely going to end up having to go with through no choice of your own is you're going to have to suck it up and deal with it and finally face the consequences of your actions. Well, folks, we have crossed that 1 million subscriber milestone, but rest assured, we are just getting started here at Ring of Fire. So if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel and make sure to like, share, and comment on the videos.